You have an incredible purpose to make a difference in this world. A purpose must be discovered and character must be developed because great leaders aren't born, they're built. So get ready, gamers. It's time to level up. This is the Level Up Podcast. Yo, gamers. Welcome, friends, to the Level Up Podcast. Weekly content devoted to helping gamers level up in their life, faith, and leadership. Hey, friends, if you're here watching live right now on Twitch, by the way, it is so awesome to have you. I am so pumped that if you're here live, I need to put some hype in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, put a smiley face in the comments. Friends, thank you so much for joining us. I'm pumped, man. Week number 1 of the first ever episode of the Level Up Podcast. And friends, I'm super excited because I want to walk through not only the topic of today, but I want to walk through kind of the journey that led us here. It's good to see everyone live in the chat right now, but I'm super pumped because this has been a multi-year really dream of mine to be able to start a podcast. I'm super humbled that people have been interested in me starting a podcast. Like over the years, I've had so many people ask, like, Pastor Susie, when are you starting a podcast? And to be honest, I'm just truly humbled that people like, man, people actually like care what I have to say. Yeah. Like people are actually interested in like listening to me talk, and I'm super humbled and I'm really excited most of all, not just to do a podcast, but to bring you value. This entire podcast is it's really intended to help you level up. Literally today, we're going to get to in the meat of today's topic is really, I want to shape your mind to convince you that you can be a leader. You can be a leader. You can do it. You do have what it takes. I believe God has an incredible purpose for you to discover your purpose and to make a difference. So I want to encourage you. That's what you have to look forward to today. We got some real practical things I want to talk through. But as we kind of launch episode number 1, I want to kind of like pull back the curtain and talk about like, how do we get here? Today's the pilot. Today is episode 1 of what will be weekly content for what I'm hoping will be years to come. But like, how do we get here? You know, friends, 10 years ago, I started out on a mission and really just devoted my life to impacting the gaming community. My wife and I just set out on a crazy mission, and just we want to impact the gaming community. We want to see people experience the love of Jesus. We want to see people just like their lives transformed. We want to see people reached. We want to see like the gaming community transform for the better. But obviously, like the ways in which we do that over the years as we've learned and grown, like that has changed. Like I'll be honest, guys, I was convinced, man. I was just absolutely convinced when I first started streaming that if we wanted to impact the gaming community, like streaming was the answer. I'll be honest, I was just convinced. And so I was just gung ho, man. Back then, over 10 years ago, like nobody was doing what we were doing. And I was like, let's just start a stream and we'll be able to reach just millions and millions and millions of people. And is that possible? Absolutely. But the years and years that we've been doing this, really what I've learned that like impacting the gaming community is less about one person streaming. Then when I realized, like, you know what, it's not just going to be just my stream that's going to impact the gaming community. What if we had more and more people streaming? And I've been so excited to see more people start to stream, whether they're a faith-based content creator sharing God's love with gamers, or just more people also on a mission to just positively impact the gaming community. I was super excited. We need more and more, and we do need people streaming. We need more people creating content. We need more of that. But honestly, after over 10 years of doing this, I think I've really landed on what the actual answer is, not what I thought. Of like, how are we absolutely going to transform the gaming community? I don't think it's going to be through one streamer. I don't think it's going to be through a bunch of streamers. I think that is a good part. I think we need that. I also don't think it's going to be through some good content, some video game streaming content. I think that's all great. But if you would ask me now, a decade in, Pastor Susie, what do you think is the number one way in which we're absolutely going to revolutionize and change the gaming community? My answer would be this: leadership. Leadership. I think if we're really going to change and transform the gaming community through the better, it's not just going to be through streaming gaming content. It's not even just going to be making some content that impacts people's lives. It's going to be leadership. It's going to be you and I stepping into the purpose that I believe God has given all of us to impact the world around us. And if we can actually have conversations around how can you become a person of influence? Now, I didn't say how do you become an influencer, where, man, make a social media account and start, posting on TikTok. No, but how can we help people develop themselves into a person of influence, which I'm going to define here in a few minutes. How can we help people grow? How can we help people level up? How can we ensure that gamers aren't just growing old, they're growing up? How can we ensure that people are actually going to the next level so that we can take other people with us. It's going to take all of us together. If we really want to see the gaming community transformed, it's going to take all of us leveling up, going to the next level of our influence, of the way that we love one another, the way that we treat one another. It is our behavior. It is our mindset. It is the way we live our lives. All of us learning leadership, leveling up in our life, faith, and leadership. And I believe if we can multiply that principle, replicate that principle to help every single gamer understand, like, I'm a leader. I can play a role in actually impacting the people around me. I think that is how we change the gaming community. So for me these days, it's really less about like, how can we just make a certain stream as big as humanly possible? And I think it's more about, how can we make our leaders as best as possible? How can we help people develop? How can we help people go to the next level so that we can transform the gaming community forever? That is the whole purpose of this podcast. I want to be able to help gamers level up in life, faith, and leadership. And I'm excited that you're along for the journey. And I'll be honest, this podcast really is for people that are looking to grow. This is for people that are hungry for more. They're hungry to go to that next level. You're not satisfied with the status quo. You don't want to just stay the way that you are. All of us, I just want to be a student. Like, I want to grow. I want to develop. If you're like, hey man, all I want to do ever is just be entertained, I'll be honest, this podcast probably is not for you. We're looking for people that want to go to the next level because they want to make an impact in the world. We want to do more than just be fed entertainment, more than just fed laughter. And believe me, we do that all the time. I dance in a penguin suit on my stream. I'm going to keep doing that. But the purpose of this podcast is to look for the people that are looking to go to the next level and help them level up so we can transform the gaming community for the better. Real practically, what is the podcast actually going to look like? Again, we're in the pilot level, episode 1. What's it going to look like? And honestly, I'm really open to the fact that, like, it's probably going to be a work in progress. It's my first time ever doing a podcast. We're going to kind of feel out what it's going to look like. But a lot of these episodes, some of them will be a mixture of me bringing some sort of teaching lesson that will help us level up. I do want to have a lot of guests on this podcast. I want to have people that I think will offer value to you as the listener. And again, how we can help you level up. So you'll see a mixture of me sometimes, maybe some of our XP Church staff. I might bring some friends that I know on. I think it's going to be super cool. But just real practically, what it's going to look like is right now, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, they'll be done live on Twitch and they'll be uploaded to YouTube on Thursday. The timing of the live stream might actually change because if I find that it's too hard to bring guests on for a specific time slot, and it might be easier to work with their schedule than just upload on Thursdays, then we'll see. But weekly content will be coming out, uploaded to YouTube, even if the live stream time has to change. But I'm excited. Do me a favor, put a hype emote in the chat if you are ready to dive on in episode number 1. Today, friends, I want to talk all about you. And I want to hopefully shift and transform your mind to understand this truth. And if you're watching live, go ahead and type it in the chat. If you're watching YouTube, put it in the description. You can be a leader. You can. I'm going to say it again. You can be a leader. And in order to really break down this topic, I want to break it down into 3 sections. I want to talk through understanding what leadership is and what it isn't. I want to talk about learning to feed yourself and then asking you a very important question. Who do you surround yourself with? You can be a leader, because understanding leadership is not just understanding what it is, but it's understanding what it isn't. Many of you have been convinced that leadership is being a manager at your job. It's owning a business. You have believed the lie that leadership is, oh, well, if I don't have some sort of title or some sort of rank, then I'm not a leader. Leaders are people who are in charge. False, because some of you probably know that there are a lot of people in your life that are probably in charge, but they probably don't deserve to be. There are a lot of people that for whatever reason, they have been giving a rank, a role, or a title. But how many of you know that you wouldn't follow them if you weren't getting paid to? Some of you listening right now, you work for someone that if he wasn't writing a check for you on every week, you're like, brother, I wouldn't follow you anyway. It's because leadership, it's not about a rank. It's not about a title. It's not about a role. Leadership isn't some position. It's not a job. It's not being a manager. It's not being a business owner. It's not being a pastor. It's not being a Discord moderator. Here's how I would define leadership. Leadership is simply being a person of influence. Leadership is developing and leveling up into a person who lives a life that other people want to follow. A lot of people go around and start bragging like, oh, I'm such a great leader. But really, I think the litmus test of leadership is like, hey, turn around. Is anyone actually following you? And I don't mean like, is anyone following you on social media and subscribing to YouTube channel? I mean like, is anyone trying to emulate you in your life? Is anyone looking up to you? Is anyone making comments about like, man, you're so inspiring in this way, and I really want to be more. I want to be more like fill in the blank. Is there anyone that's aspiring to go in the direction that you're going? Is your kindness so evident that other people are like, man, I want to be more kind? Because what I need you to understand is that leadership is anytime that someone wants to follow your example. If anyone has ever said to you, man, I wish I was more like you in X, Y, or Z way, you are leading them towards the desired behavior or result. That means that you are a leader. You're a person of influence. And the beautiful part about leadership is that, yes, it is a high responsibility, but it has a low barrier to entry. Because anyone who chooses to grow, develop, and level up, they can be a leader. You have the ability to impact the people around you by simply making a decision. I'm going to live a life worth following. Now, please hear me. That seems like a lot of pressure. We are not perfect. I am not perfect. I have made mistakes. I have had failure. I have regrets. We all do. But even when you do make mistakes, do you get back up and try again in a way that you would say, man, when other people make mistakes, because they will, I hope they will also follow my example of getting up and trying again. You can be a leader. You can choose today, even just by listening to this podcast, that, man, I want to be intentional about leveling up so that I can live a life that other people want to follow. You don't understand, friends, gamers, even just as you, just like sitting in a voice channel in Discord, like you just choosing that I am going to behave in a way that inspires others, even just simply in a Discord call, by being loving, by being kind. If you're here and you're a follower of Jesus, Jesus said that we will be known not by these big buildings that we build or not by how many followers on social media they have. We'll be known by our love, by the way we live, by the way we behave, by the way we treat people. We can lead people simply by living a life that's worth following. So the beauty of that is that you can do it. You can make a conscious decision today. Man, I want to live a life that's worth following. I want to live a life that's actually like inspiring other people, that people are like, they're looking to emulate. You can do that. You might not have a role. You might not have a rank. You might not be a business owner. You might not be a moderator in a Discord, or you might not be a officer in like my Unity World of Warcraft guild. You might not have some super high rank or role in a church or as a volunteer, as a staff member. But can you live a life that's worth following? And if you will choose to live a life that's worth following, opportunities will come your way. So many of us, like, we are sitting around complaining that we're not getting promotions at work or we're not getting opportunities, but we're not choosing to become the type of people that would get those opportunities. We're not investing in ourselves to level up, to be the type of people that would end up in those type of positions. Many of us complain, man, I want to get a promotion at work. Well, are you doing anything to become a person that deserves the promotion at work? We're not choosing to be a leader. We're not choosing to live a life that's worth following. And so, man, I hope you just in episode 1, if you walk away with nothing else, I just want to convince your mind, you can be a leader. You can be a part of all of us together working hard to transform the gaming community together by understanding that you do have a purpose to play. God does want to make a difference through your life by you stepping into your role, you using your God-given gifts and deciding, today I'm going to be a leader. But when talking about like, what does it actually mean to be a leader? I want to talk through some real practical things of like, okay, cool. I've made the decision. I want to be a leader. But like now, like, how do I actually do that? I want to talk to you through 2 very important things that I think will actually really help you start your journey of living a life that other people want to follow. If you want to start leveling up, you're going to have to learn a very important life skill. Learn to feed yourself. No, I don't mean driving down to good old Taco Bell at 2 o'clock in the morning, even though that's pretty good. I'm talking about feeding yourself in a way that causes you to grow, mature, and develop. Almost everyone listening to this podcast right now, you're a gamer. You understand the principle of that. If you want to level up in the games that you're playing, it takes a conscious effort. Like, you got to sit down, you got to log into the game, you got to do whatever quests you got to do. You have to be intentional that I am not just going to all of a sudden get to max level in World of Warcraft. I'm not just all of a sudden going to level up my character. I got to put in the work. If I want to get into that raid, if I want to do those dungeons, like, I'm going to have to make a conscious decision, and I'm going to have to learn, where can I get XP? Like, do I got to do some quests? Do I got to kill some mobs? Like, wherever the XP is attainable, like, that's where I want to be. I'm going to find ways to get XP so that I can level up, because nobody just logs in and all of a sudden they were a higher level. And it might sound obvious, but that same principle applies in our lives. Like, we're looking to level up in our marriages. Like, we're looking to level up maybe as parents. We're looking to level up in our jobs. We're looking to level up just as a person of influence. But sometimes the way we live our lives is we want to get to the next level, but we're not looking for ways we can get XP. Like, we're not looking for, hey, is there a quest that I can do? Or are there some mobs that I can kill? Look, we're not looking for opportunities to get XP so we can actually level up. It's an important principle that I practice, I don't encourage you to practice, is learn ways to feed yourself. And what I mean by that is learn ways to start gathering knowledge and information that will help you level up. Hopefully this podcast will be a way in which you are feeding yourself. Hopefully every week at Thursday, you're subscribing to the XP Church YouTube channel. You're joining us live either on my personal channel, Pastor Susie, or on the church channel, XP Church for Gamers. And you're like, I'm going to sit down right now. I'm going to feed myself. I'm going to where the XP is because I want to level up. Maybe that's one way. But I want to encourage you, there are so many practical ways, but it takes you making a conscious decision. Now, I'll be honest, there will be a sacrifice involved. If you want to level up, it's going to take intentionality. It's going to take effort. It's going to take work. You becoming the person that you want to be, you becoming the person that God created you to be, is on the other side of intentionality. It's on the other side of hard work. It's on the other side of sacrifice. It's going to take you saying, hey, you know what? All of our free time is limited. I get it. We're busy. But the reality is excuses don't get me from where I am to where I want to be. It's going to take me deciding, what am I going to have to give up to carve out some time every week, every month, whatever it's going to take to find ways to feed myself. Whether that's reading some good books, whether that's literally listening to Audible or some sort of podcast or book on 1.5 speed while I am driving to work, or while I just put the kids down for a nap. I got 45 minutes. Maybe I can lay down on the couch because I'm so exhausted with my eyes closed and just feed myself knowledge, wisdom, and information. Maybe after a long day's work, the kids have gone to bed, and while I play some video games, I'm just going to, in the background, I'm just going to learn some information. Whether it's going to be joining a YouVersion Bible app like we do here at XP Church, and I'm gonna read God's word. I'm gonna find ways to feed myself, because the truth is, nobody's coming for you. Nobody is coming to help you become the person you want to be. Nobody is coming to make sure that you accomplish your dreams. Maybe your spouse. That's probably it. Like, we live sometimes in this way, and I just want to challenge you a little bit. Like, if you want to level up, sometimes leveling up requires us to grow up, meaning that, like, nobody's coming to take care of me. Like, it's on me. It's on me to make sure that I accomplish the God-given dreams that God has put on me. It requires me to become the person, to level up. But I only do that by feeding myself. Like, we just want to lay back and be like, yo, somebody spoon feed me, man. Like, somebody accomplish my dreams for me. Somebody help me do the hard work. Someone like, hey man, I really got to grow in my kindness. Hey, will you just like make me a kinder person? No, it's going to take us sitting down, maybe like we're doing right now. How can I feed myself? How can I make sure that I'm leveling up my life, faith, and my leadership so that I can make an impact in the world around me? But the truth is, like, nobody's coming for you. It's on you. It's on me to put in the work of feeding myself. Man, we live in a world where there's more information and like just accessible than ever. I'm telling you guys, there are so many YouTube videos that have immense wisdom and knowledge. I want to encourage you, start making a playlist. Like literally set aside some time, make a playlist on your YouTube channel. And as you're scrolling through the algorithm, like just start adding some of those. I have a super long watch later list. And I just do my best, like whenever I can, like set aside some time. Like I'm just going to listen to this while I go for a walk, or I'm just going to listen to this while I'm working on something else. But I'm actively finding ways to feed myself. Like start literally filling all of your algorithms. I know our algorithms, they're full of video games and cat videos, and you be scrolling till 3 o'clock in the morning. And the reality is that stuff is entertaining. It's great. And I'm not saying you need to stop doing it. I also like a good cat video from time to time. But what if we had found a way to watch the funny cat videos, the video game tips, and then we're just also intentional to feed ourselves in ways we can become better spouses? What if we just literally open up TikTok or open up YouTube and just literally started looking up how to get better at fill in the blank, how to become a better spouse, how to be more kind? And what's going to happen is those algorithms and all these platforms, they are designed to learn you. This is something I do real practically. I fill my algorithms with information that I want to learn. Actually, practically, here's what I do that maybe will be helpful for you. I have 2 TikTok accounts. I have an account where it is full of video games and entertainment. And when I'm in a mood to just laugh and scroll, I use that account. But then I'm also intentional to go on the other account that is all full of business leaders, pastors, leadership, marriage advice. And and honestly, like it's a way to scroll and get, man, I'm just like in a 15-minute window, I just got the best parts of so many conversations. Because let me tell you what I'm going to do with this whole podcast. This is a real example that'll help you have a real easy, practical, doable way to feed yourself. Literally after I'm done recording this podcast, I'm going to get a few clips of only the best 30-second moments. Okay? Only the best 30-second moments. Where if you watch those 3 clips, you will probably get most of the meat of this entire podcast. Now, you're not going to get the full value, but if you don't listen to the whole thing, but you'll get the gist, the most important nuggets. You can get them in 90 seconds. So by watching these types of clips on social media, you might be like, man, I follow 100 really inspirational, smart people. No, I don't have time to listen to all of you's, 100 of you's 1-hour podcast every week. I don't have the time. But can I, for a few minutes a day, scroll through your 30-second clips of that last talk you just did where we shared your best advice in 30 seconds? Can I scroll through and listen to that? And after 15 minutes of listening to a bunch of 30-second clips, you realize how much information you will have just consumed? Because it's only the best info. It's the best parts. It's the I'm gonna age myself. It's the Spark Notes. It's the best parts of literally every video. And I just scrolled through and I got a gold mine of information in like 15 minutes once a week. We live in a world where the information for you to level up and grow is at your disposal. It's literally at your fingertips. But are you taking advantage? I've talked with so many people over the years, and I've heard this, if I'm being honest, this victim mentality of I'm not the person I want to be because no one helped me get there. I want to re-emphasize for you. No one's coming for you. Like, no one is coming to make sure that you become who you're supposed to be. It's going to be up to you to feed yourself. I've heard the victim mentality of I'm not where I want to be because of this or that or that. At what point do we start realizing, yes, there are some difficult things that may have happened, or maybe you weren't born into the family you were born in. These are real things, but those are out of our control. I cannot control everything in life, but I can control my ability to feed myself. So I just want to challenge you. Find real practical ways that work for you and your schedule. How can I sit down while I'm gaming? How can I just feed myself? How can I listen to some podcasts? How can I join XP Church on Saturdays at 1:30 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern so I can hear messages that are hopefully going to help feed your life, faith, and leadership? How can I subscribe to hopefully this podcast and many others? How can I feed myself? Because the reality is, like, the biggest thing that is keeping you from becoming who you want to be, a lot of that is your ability to feed yourself, to get the information. Because nobody's coming to make sure that you accomplish your dreams. It's up to you to learn a very, very important principle and figure out how it works in your schedule. How do I feed myself to make sure, like, growth is my responsibility. Development is my responsibility. Leveling up is my responsibility. And if I won't do it, nobody is going to do it for me. So I challenge you. Like, if you want to be a part of impacting the world around you, if you want to be a leader who influences those around us, I have to continuously be growing, but it's up to me to make sure I grow. Second and final thing I want to talk through as we wind down episode 1 of the good old Level Up podcast. Feels good. Feels good to say it after all these years, man. Is if you want to become a leader who lives a life that other people want to follow, be happy, mindful, and ask yourself this question. Who am I surrounding myself with? Like, you have to ask yourself a real, honest question. Who am I spending my time with? And maybe you've heard the phrase, tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. Very, very, very important. But I want to break down how I define friendships and all relationships really into 3 categories that I think will help you really start putting some language to who you surround yourself with that'll help you or prevent you from becoming a leader. I really would define all relationships in 3 categories. And because I'm a preacher, they all start with the letter M. Come on, somebody. 3 relationships I believe that all people can have. You can have mentor relationships, meaning mentor relationships this is the type of relationship where you are the mentor. It is someone maybe that you're older with. And for example, if you're a parent, you're parenting your children, you are clearly the mentor in that situation. That doesn't mean that a mentor can't ever learn from the person they're mentoring. But if we're being honest in the relationship, one person has more to offer the other than the other. It's just the truth. If you are a pastor and you are, training a intern from the lens of what does it take to become a pastor, the pastor is obviously the mentor teaching the intern how to become a pastor. Now, that doesn't mean the intern can't ever have a piece of knowledge or wisdom or experience that he could teach the pastor. Of course he can. But if we're talking ratio, the ratio is mostly on the mentor that has more to offer. Second type of relationship we have is the mentee relationship, where you're the mentee. You are being mentored. So you're the child to the parent. You are a new employee to maybe your boss who knows how to do the job, at least hopefully, probably better than you do, right? You are someone maybe younger of age. An important principle the Bible teaches is to literally seek out people who have more life experience. If you're about to have a baby, get around some people who have had 2, 3, 4 kids, and they can mentor you on how to be a parent. But it's evident in that relationship. If I don't have any children, which me and my wife do not, I am not a mentor on the topic of parenting, okay? I'm a mentee. So much to learn. But if I'm going to go sit down with people that have 3 kids and talk about parenting, I understand my role in that relationship is mentee, not mentor. And you'll actually begin to find a lot of relief when you begin to identify your relationships properly, because there's a lot of frustration that happens when you go into a relationship and you're expecting to be a mentee and to be mentored by that person, but that person maybe has not much to offer you. You will be frustrated in any relationship that isn't properly identified. But the 3 relationships, mentor relationships, mentee relationships, but really the one I want to talk about here is the mutual relationships. These are, in my opinion, how I would best define just friendship. We have equal value to offer one another. And it might not be in every single area of life, but just as a whole, there's give and take. There's just a deep level of understanding of one another. You're probably in similar states in life. Not always, but most of the time. You've got a similar level of maturity and experience and wisdom. You share a lot of the same values. You probably view the world a lot of the same way. If you're here and you're a follower of Jesus, it's probably another follower of Jesus because you offer value to each other and how to grow in your faith. But most of your closest relationships will be a mutual relationship where it's give and take, where you don't feel like, man, I'm always having to help you, but you never help me. That's a frustrating friendship. And some of you may think that some of your friendships are that mutual friendship, and there's frustration there because maybe you haven't identified that actually this is a mentor-mentee relationship. And I'm frustrated because I'm always helping you and you have nothing to offer me, but it's not even the other individual's fault. It's actually, I've improperly labeled this relationship. And maybe I just need to actually start properly labeling the types of relationships that I have. But this right here, if you want to level up in your life, faith, and leadership, you're going to have to learn to identify these three types of relationships and make sure that you have all three of them in your life. Can I tell you, for years, one of my biggest regrets is not having a mentor sooner. Now, some of you might be like, Susie, mentor, like I thought I could just feed myself. Let me tell you the role of a mentor. The role of a mentor is, in my opinion, twofold: to help you find so many shortcuts and to help you avoid so many mistakes. Because yes, can you learn the same information a mentor can teach you by simply just watching a video? Sure. But that podcast is not able to specifically talk into your situation, into your life, and the things that you have going on. They're not able to share with you the specific mistake that they can see you're about to make, and they can tell you, hey, I made that already. Don't do that. It'll get you this result. The biggest lie that I think I ever believed is that mentors are not super important. Let me tell you from bad mistakes and dumb thinking, a mentor is way more valuable than you could ever imagine. To be able to talk with you, who actually knows you and understands you, to be able to speak in your life and help you take shortcuts, because it can be like, hey, I know this is your plan. Your plan sucks. Do this one instead. You'll avoid all these mistakes. Literally, it's a shortcut. I understand, however, finding a mentor can be very, very challenging, but I want to encourage you, if you can seek out a mentor in your life, it is an absolute cheat code. But you also need in your life, you need those mutual friendships. And really, here's the one that I want to really park on for a few minutes, because I understand that many people listen to this podcast. I just talked about mentors and you're like, Susie, must be so great to have a mentor, bro. Like, wish I had one. And I also understand it was hard for me to get one. And I also understand it's probably gonna be hard for you to get one. I don't want you to use that as an excuse that like, oh, I just couldn't get one. But I also want to relate to the fact of like, not everything is as easy said as done. But the one that all of us can do and should do is look for those mutual friendships. And I think it really starts with all of us. Like, if we're really going to level up, really be honest with yourself about your current friendships. Are they actually making you better? Like, are the current people you spend the most of your time with, I understand you love them. And I understand that maybe you've been friends with them for a very long time. But are they making you better? Are they helping you level up? Is there a mutual growth happening where the Bible would call it iron sharpens iron, meaning we're rubbing up against each other. The iron is rubbing up against the other iron, and we're sharpening each other. We're not making each other dull. We're making each other sharp. We are making each other better. And the reality is, when I'm in a friendship, my closest friendships, I want to do my best, right? I don't want to be a leech. I want to do my best. I want to add value to my friends. That's my goal. I don't always do it perfectly. None of us are perfect. But I want to add value to my friends. I want to help make them better. But if I'm going to put them on that amount of effort, I want it in return. I also want to be sharpened. I also want the people that I consider my closest friends. I am going to hold the responsibility of, man, I want to do my best to encourage you, speak into you, challenge you, call out potential out of you, maybe call out some things in your life that are not so great so that you can level up. You just couldn't see that about yourself because we all have blind spots, including me. I'm going to do that for you. But I'm also going to ask you, going to do that for me. And if you're not, then you're not the mutual friendship. Because here's the deal. If I'm speaking into your life, I'm helping you get better. I'm calling out potential in you. I'm helping correct some things in your life to help lead you to the next level. And I'm not getting that in return. We're not mutual. I'm the mentor. You're the mentee. If it's vice versa, if you're calling potential out of me, you're investing in me, encouraging me, help me get better, and I'm not doing that for you, we're not mutual. You're the mentor. I'm the mentee. And sometimes what we do is with good intentions because we love one another. Been friends for a long time. We label friendships that are mutual that are just not. We stay stuck in friendships for years and we call them mutual, but if we're just being honest, sometimes they're just not. They're just not. And it's going to be up to you to properly identify your relationships, but then also to properly seek out the ones that actually are mutual. The ones where, I'm helping you level up, but then you're helping me level up. Together, we're just going to the next level, man. And for many of us, we've been on level 3 for 15 years because we've mislabeled the fact that I'm in a mutual relationship, but actually my friends aren't helping me level up. They're actually causing me to stay the same. I challenge you, man, the people you spend your time with, I'm talking about like the closest people. Again, I'm not talking about like, hey, if you have nothing to offer me, then I can't talk to you. No, I'm going to talk to you. Just this is a mentor-mentee relationship. I have a lot to offer you, and I'm happy to do that. But we're not mutual. We're not going to the next level together. I'm just helping you go to the next level. And that's great. There's relationships where like you're helping me to go to the next level, and I'm not helping you go to the next level. It's fine. It's just properly identified. But I want to ask you, the people you spend your most amount of time with, your closest friends, are they helping you level up? Are they actually making you better? Or are they just simply reinforcing maybe some of we all have toxic traits. We all do it. But are the people you're spending your most time, are they just actually like reinforcing that about you? Do you have some toxic behaviors or some immature behaviors that we all do that your friends like actually find really funny and they want you to stay that way? Do you have friends that encourage you to keep living in the negative bad habits because they are also living in the negative bad habits? And it's too painful for them to admit, I need to change and level up. So instead, I'm going to make myself feel better by complimenting those same negative traits in you so that I feel better about myself. Or you surrounding yourself with people that, man, we're just continuously just challenging one another to level up. Friends, I want to encourage you, if you want to become a world changer, if you want to discover your purpose and make a difference, all of us are going to have to take a real hard look at the people we spend our time with, the most amount of time. Is it a mentor relationship? Is it a mentee relationship? Is it actually mutual? And if the current people that you spend the most amount of your time with are not in a mutual, man, we're both trying to get to the next level, or are you just comfortable staying who you are? Because reality is, be so inspired and encouraged and motivated to get to the next level, to become who God created you to be, that in the kindest, most respectful way that I can say it, that if your friends aren't also trying to level up, leave them behind. Go to level 7. You want to stay at level 2? That's cool, man. But I'm not staying with you. I'm just not. I'm not letting you hold me back from becoming the person God has created me to be anymore. I love you. We'll talk from time to time, but I'm going to level 7. I want to mature. I want to become a better spouse. I want to become a better human. I want to love God more. I want to love people. I don't want to keep acting this rude, toxic way that I have, and then you keep telling me, yeah, bro, you should have been even meaner. No, challenge me. Tell me to be better. I want to grow. And if you won't help me, I'll find someone who will, because I'm going to help them get better. I'm not going to settle my way through life. We're going to either help each other grow or step aside as I level up, and you can choose to stay behind. That's on you. I will love you. I will respect you. But so many of us, friends, your friends are so eager for you to stay exactly who you are. Don't settle. Ask God to reveal in me the potential and the purpose that I have. And then God, help me to first and foremost, how can I start challenging my own friends to level up? And then over time, hopefully there's a culture that's created. We're like, hey man, Susie started challenging me. You know what? I'm feeling inspired to challenge him back. And before we know it, we're both going to the next level. Like maybe there's opportunity for your current friends for that type of relationship to be built. Maybe it's time for you to sit down with your friends and be like, hey guys, you know what? I really want to go to the next level. Can we go on a journey of like sharpening one another? And if you see me do it, like I've realized I do this and I don't really like that. And if I see it, will you help me out? Like, and then your friends start getting inspired. Like maybe you start leading your friends, start being a person of influence that your friends want to follow when they realize, yo, Susie's trying to get better. And I'll be honest, I haven't really tried to get better. But now that I see him getting better, yo, I want to get better too. And that same group of friends now are the kind of people that are challenging and developing one another. But if you go on this journey of growth and development, becoming God would create you to be, and your friends don't want to join, eventually you're just going to out-level them. Does it make you a better person? It doesn't make you superior. It just means I'm leveling up and I'm not staying behind any longer. I'm not letting my friendships get in the way of who God has created me to be. I want you to come with me. But if you don't, hey, respect that. But I'm going. I'm leveling up. I'm going to the next level. And the friendships that are the closest to me, they will be mutual. And I don't need to abandon certain people. Maybe sometimes we do. But if some of your friends don't want to come with you, you don't need to end the relationship. You just might need to redefine it. This relationship is now going for what I once thought was mutual. And now I'm just going to be a mentor. I'm going to be the guy that's hoping to encourage you and challenge you to the next level. You're not going to reciprocate that for me. And then it's up to you if you want to level up or not. The relationship might not be end. It just might need to be redefined. And I know that this one is a heavy hitter, but my hope is that all of us, like, we'll just take inventory. Just take inventory of our lives and just get honest with ourselves. Like, are my friends helping me level up in the same way that I want to help them level up? But it starts with you making an intentional decision to feed yourself. You're the kind of person who is leveling up, because you can't get mad at your friends for them not helping you level up if you're also not the kind of person that's helping them level up. Because then you both are mutual. Both of you are just settling to stay the same. But as you're feeding yourself and growing and developing, you may need to re-identify and rename some relationships. But I promise you, if you will first embrace, I can be a leader. I can be the type of person who makes an impact in the world around me. I can go to the next level. I just got to feed myself, make sure I've got the right type of relationships around me. If I'll do that, the gaming community, all of us, if together we would go on a journey of leveling up, the gaming community doesn't stand a chance. We will reach more people with God's love. We will reach more people with our positive impact, the way that our influence, the way that our life is just a model, an example to other people around them. And what I want to do in this podcast is I want to bring on people and guests that my prayer is they'll be the kind of life that hopefully all of us want to follow. There's something about their life that I want the rest of the world to emulate. There's probably something about them that I am currently trying to emulate. They are currently causing me to level up, and I want to bring them on so that together they can help all of us level up. But it starts with you making an intentional decision that today I'm going to the next level. Man, I really hope and pray that this podcast has been valuable to you. I pray it's challenged you. I pray it's given you a lot to think about, but I pray it also helps you walk away with some real practical steps on how you can level up in your life, faith, and leadership. Remember, episodes will be uploaded to YouTube every single Thursday. Wherever you're listening to this right now, either subscribe to the good old YouTube channel, or of course, make sure that you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. That huge subscribe button. I'll fix that for the next one. Oh, snap. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're listening, share with your friends, spread the word, tell everyone about you. And remember, friends, if you're looking to start becoming a person of influence that steps into leadership right now, here's one thing you could do. Simply be kind. It costs you nothing and it changes everything. I appreciate you taking time to listen to this podcast. We'll see you in the next one.